Hi everyone, it's Shannon and welcome to today's video. So very excited because I'm going to be talking about the new Pat McGrath holiday collection, and I got two of the items. So I got the palette. This is the holiday palette. Now, unlike the last 2 years, she just came out with one eyeshadow palette, which I was very happy about. And it was like the mega palette, but it's like a lot smaller. So it's the mega palette but smaller, and even the pan size is even smaller than the quints the last couple of years. So no quints this year, which again I'm kind of relieved. And so this is kind of the same thing. It's the mega palette, but with similar formula the quints in the past, which we'll talk about. But anyway, this is the mega palette, but then she also came out with like minis of her cheeks. So it's the legendary Glow Color Balm. So she came out with 3 sets. So it was 3 sets of 2, and I got one of them. So I got the one that is Nude Nectar, which is like the warm nude. So she came out with 3 of these. I bought one of them. So the eyeshadow palette is $72. This is $32. There was a 10% promo code when you got it first couple days. It was Gilded 10, if it's still available, that you might want to try it. But then the day after, which is what they've done the last 2 years, I think, the day after they had sets, which really ticked me off because it was $15. So if you had a choice of buying this palette and one of these, and you got to choose, it was like $15 cheaper. So what I'm gonna do in the next couple years or next year, if I do purchase any part of her holiday collection and I want one, more than one item, I'm gonna wait to the next day, because last year they did give me a price adjustment. This year they told me no, sorry, we don't do price adjustment. So even though it was literally a day later, which honestly from a brand perspective is kind of crappy, because they are penalizing their biggest fans for buying early. So my advice in the future is to, if you don't want to buy the first day, or you want to buy the first day, wait a day. And if you're going to buy more than one item, because there will probably be sets and you can save. And the promo code worked as well on those sets. So anyway, that's my little rant there, but I am very happy with the product. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, first let's go ahead and go over the gloss bomb. So this is the Mini Divine Cream Blush. It is the legendary Glow Color Balm Duo. And like I said, I got the shade Nude Nectar. So this came in 3 different shades. So the first set is Forever Rose, which was cool pinks. And that came with a shade Hot Pink, which was like a cool pink and is also a new shade. Then it also came with Divine Rose Glow, which was a cool pink rose. Then the other set is called Hyper Bloom, which I would just say like they're bright shades. And the first one is the Electric Bloom, which is a vivid orange. And then the second shade is also a new shade, which is Fuchsia Fatale, which is a vivid fuchsia. And then the one I got, which is Nude Nectar, is basically, I describe it as warm nudes. And it has Sun-Kissed Seduction, which is warm sienna, and then Alluring Nude, which is a beige nude, and totally up my alley. Now these are, you can see they're really tiny. They are 3.2 grams, whereas the full-size ones are 7 grams. So I think the full-size ones are $29, so you're getting 2 shades, but you're getting like a little bit less than half for more money, for $32. However, you're getting 2 shades, which I love, and I love minis. They do feel a little cheap, but I mean, they don't feel that much cheaper than the ones in the actual packaging. So I remember feeling that those were pretty, they felt pretty inexpensive. So, but I do really like them, and so much that if I really like how they look, I might consider getting the pink one if it goes on sale. I don't want to get it right now because I really don't need it, and I don't wear pinks as much. These I will definitely get use out of, but the pinks, I I love the size of these. I think they're great. But let me go ahead and show you some swatches on my arm in natural sunlight. And on the left is the Alluring Nude, which is the beige nude, the lighter shade. And then the darker shade is Sun-Kissed Seduction, which is the warm sienna. So what I'm gonna do, like I always do when I do like try-ons, is I'm gonna put one on each side. I will probably even them out once I go and do the eyeshadow, but I just wanted to show you how each one will look on my skin. And again, I tend to like, I'm neutral, warm leaning, so warm tones tend to, you know, are ones that I love. Now, as far as, that's my son screaming, so sorry. What I would say is, I didn't love these, but I didn't hate them either. I got the original Divine Rose, which is a warm pinky rose, and I like it. I kept it, I like it, and I use it from time to time. It's a nice, pretty pink rose, so that's why I'm kind of leaning to not get it. But anyway, so I did like this formula, but I didn't love it, but I really like these two shades. So anyway, let's get into it. Okay, so here is the Alluring Nude. I was filming, I started putting it on and realized I wasn't filming. So I am using my F08 precision powder from Sigma, and I would love this for cream products. You can start to see it. Now I have said I do like this cream blush. I don't love it, it's not my favorite, but I do like it. And I only have one other shade. So, but I was excited to try this. I was excited to get the minis. I love the size. You can just see the size is perfect for travel. And when you're getting two shades for like literally what a full size would do, I just like it. So this is the Alluring Nude. This was like a pretty light shade, and it goes on really nicely. And I don't like applying it straight to my face because I feel like that sometimes, you know, can lift up the foundation. But you can see this goes on really, really nicely. And it has a nice subtle glow to it. Not too heavy, but it's not matte, but it's not glowy either. So that is the Alluring Nude. These two are existing shades. You can get the full size, but you know, I like the mini and I think it's a beautiful shade. Okay, so there is Alluring Nude. Now we're gonna go in with the Sun-Kissed Seduction, which is a deeper shade. And this is like described as a warm sienna. Using the same brush, I did clean it. And also I wanna show you, it does say Pat McGrath. I don't know if you can see it with the light here, but it does say Pat McGrath on it. So packaging I think is really cute and very convenient, and I've said that several times. So this is going on, this one is, again, it's a deeper shade, so it's gonna go on easier. And I'm just gonna brush a little bit more here, but really pretty. I think these sets are fantastic. Now, right now, they're only available on the Pat McGrath website. They're not available on Sephora. The palette is, but these little sets are not available on Sephora, nor have I seen any of the collection available at Ulta yet. Last year they were. Last year some things were on Ulta, some things were on Sephora, so maybe these will be on Ulta, I don't know. But now this one, because I'm going a little lighter handed, it almost doesn't look as dark as this one, even though the actual shade is actually darker. So let me go a little heavier so that I can put it on so that you can really see the color. But again, it's a really pretty warm tone, warm sienna, really pretty. So that is it. So you have the Sun-Kissed Seduction, and then this is the Alluring Nude. So I really like these. I really like this little kit. I love the little packaging, and I love the actual, you know, product. It does click. I usually keep the top here because I think it just keeps it in, you know, just prevents it from drying out. Not that I've heard that these dry out, but I think these are great. So I'm not gonna buy I think this is, if there's like one shade that you really like or one set that you really like, then get it. I think it's worth $32, or if you can get the 10% off. But I will probably, if the other one, the pink one, goes on sale, I might purchase that one. If it goes, you know, on sale on Pat McGrath, or, you know, it shows up in another retailer, I might purchase it because again, I love the size of these, and I actually really like the application. Okay, so I went ahead and evened them out a little bit, put a little powder on, but really like it, highly recommend it. and definitely if it goes on sale. Okay, so now let's talk about the eyeshadow palette, because that's pretty much what I think everybody's interested in. So here is the packaging. So you can kind of see how small it is. Let's compare it to something. So let's compare it to like a quint from in the past. So here's a quint from the past, and then this is the size. So you can see it's not as long. So it's actually, you know, shorter, and it's probably maybe just twice as the size, or the tall height. But the pan sizes, so there is the pan, and you can see here, when I first opened it, I was like, oh, I was taken back, because I was like, it's so much smaller than the year past, but I assumed it was the same size as the quints from the years past. Well, it's not. So it is considerably smaller than the quints from the past. Now that personally doesn't bother me, because I never use the entire thing. I'm never going to use a big pan. So more about, I know a lot of people didn't like the cardboard. Cardboard didn't bother me as much, because I still think they were really well made. They kind of clicked, they had a mirror, they were pretty heavy, but a lot of people didn't like it. What I love is the size of it. So I actually like that they're smaller pan sizes, because the size is really great. And while I'm never gonna travel with a mothership, this is something I would travel with, and I've traveled with the quints before, and this I'm going to get 12 shades. So really like this. I'm opening it the wrong side. Really like the size of it, and it's compact, and it's steady. It's not as heavy as the motherships or even like the quads, but it's a good sturdy, and it's got a mirror. I still haven't taken off the little film there, but it's a good steady, you know, sturdy little compact. So, you know, decent thickness, but I do really like the packaging. Never really bothered me with the cardboard, but I like this. And I also do like the size, because I always thought the motherships, like last year's mothership, the mothership that they had for the holiday, I really liked, but I ended up getting rid of it because it just was too bulky for me. And I was like, you know what? I tried to travel with it, and it was too big. So this I really like. So that is the size. Now let's get into everything else. So brief description, it says it's a limited edition jewel box of 12 eyeshadows in molten metallics, plush velvets, radiant sparkles, and multi-dimensional chromes. What you'll see is there is only one matte, which is this one. It's called Nude Nirvana. I couldn't get a description. On Sephora, there's descriptions of all the shades except for that shade. So it's just Nude Nirvana. That's the only matte. But then the shade Mauve Mystique, which is this one right here, it's called Plum with Gold Pearl. This one is like a matte with a pearl. So you've got two different mattes, and you'll see them in the side-by-side comparisons, but you'll see here, like those are the mattes. So this one it's kind of like a matte too. So you do kind of have those two mattes. But let's go ahead and look at the swatches, and I'll walk you through each of the shades. These were taken in natural sunlight, so that you can see how it looks, you know, in natural sunlight, not with the big, you know, fluorescent lights. But we have Pink Venus, which is a pale pink with golden pearl, Liquid Sky, Iridescent Blue Sparkle, Cherry Noir, a deep burgundy with rose pearl, Golden Lurex Chartreuse Bronze with gold pearl, Moonlit Mauve, Mauve with platinum pearl, Cosmic Orchid, a violet with pink pearl, Bronze Aura, a golden bronze with gold pearl, Mauve Mystique, a plum with gold pearl, Nude Nirvana, which is the matte, Platinum Bronze, which is a neutral bronze with gold pearl, Aquamarine Allure, Aquamarine with teal pearl, and then Noir Nuella, a deep Noir navy with iridescent pearl. So those are all the shades. Now I think it's a really pretty collection. You've got some color, but nothing too bright. I just think it's a really pretty collection, something that is usable. It's got color, something for holiday. I think it's very holiday appropriate is what I'm going to say. Now the only repeat shade that I can find is this one right here, Noir Nebula, which is the navy. That was in Lunar Nightshade. I don't have that. I actually did declutter it. So Again, not really upset about it. That was at least 2 years ago, maybe even 3. So not really upset about it, but that is a repeat shade. So if you have that one, you know, and it's not necessarily a shade that you're gonna, you know, I think if it was like the matte, you probably, you know, used it, but that shade is probably not one that you use a lot. But I did really like that shade. I remember really liking that in that palette. It was just not a palette that I used quite a bit. So that is the only repeat shade that I can find. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just basically do 2 different looks. I'm gonna use, as the base on this side, I'm going to use, the first side I'm gonna use Nude Nirvana, and then the other side I'm gonna try and just go in with this Mauve Mystique to see how that works as a transition shade. And then I'm gonna go in with a couple of the other shades. So we'll see how this works. I usually, with shades like this, I usually just kind of go one and done. Like I'll use the matte shade as a transition, and then I do a one and done with the shimmers. However, here I'm gonna try and use at least 2, maybe 3, just to kind of get some looks. It's probably not gonna be very pretty. You know, Beauty and the Frizz did a try-on of all the shades, and I'm just not in the mood to do that, to be honest. So, but you can kind of see. So I'm gonna try and do a couple shades, but I do wanna show the mattes on the lid as a transition, because I'm also curious if that Mauve Mystique is too dark to use as all over the lid. If I go light-handed, see how that looks. Okay, so I don't have any eyeshadow primer on, just a little bit of concealer, and I'm gonna go in with that Nude Nirvana shade. And it's actually it looks like it's kind of like skin tone in the pan, but it's actually, for me, which is a light medium skin tone, if you're deeper, it might, you know, it might be too light for you, but for me it works really well. It's got a nice kind of like beige peachy type tone, but a really pretty shade all over the lid. So if I wanted to take this on vacation and kind of just use this as a one and done shadow, I could totally do that. So really nice, you know, transition shade. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I think for this one, I am going to go in, this 4th shade right here is my absolute favorite from swatching, which is the Golden Lurex. I love it. It's just stunning. And then I'm also going to go in with this Bronze Aura. I'm going to go in with Bronze Aura as well. And maybe this one, which is Moonlight Mauve. I don't know, we'll see. But I'm gonna do definitely these 2 shades. So I'm gonna start with the Bronze Aura, and I am going to put that on the outer half of my lid and just kind of go in. I'm gonna go in with my finger and just kind of go in on the outer corner, or the outer half of my eye. And it goes on really, really nicely. I probably will go in with a brush as well. Actually, I am gonna do the brush because I do wanna have it pack it a little bit more, but I'm gonna pack it on, but it is going on really nicely. And again, this is not a tutorial. This is more just a way so that you can see how it looks on the eye. What I would probably do is, when I do these, is I use them kind of more as one and done. And then now I'm going to go in with that Golden Lurex, which is just I can't wait to put that just all over the lid. So I'm going to take my finger first and kind of put it on the inside of the lid, and kind of the same thing. I'll probably go back in with the brush and blend it out. But yeah, I love that green. I just love that green. It's so pretty. But okay, so there it is with those 2 shades. I don't really see a shade that I could use as an inner corner with these 2 shades. So what I'm probably gonna do is I'm gonna use that first one, which I forgot what it's called. Let's see, it is Moonlit Mauve. I am going to use that one, and I'm going to just kind of line the lower lash line. Again, this is what I just mentioned. This is not something I would normally do. This is, you know, completely different than what I would normally do, but I want to be able to kind of just try a couple of the different shades on. So that's the first look, but you can kind of see the different. I will say the quality is similar. These are made in Italy. The quality seems very similar to the Quince, but improved. So if you liked the formula in the Quince, it's very similar. but the quality, even when I swatch them and now using them, it seems like they've improved the quality. So that's my guess. You know, some of them feel a little bit more creamier, but so far I really like it. Okay, and now on this side, I'm gonna go in with that Mauve Mystique, which is the darker matte that has a little bit of pearl. So I'm gonna go really light-handed, and I'm going to just put that all over the lid to see how it looks. And actually, not bad. Not bad. It's like if you go really light-handed and just go, you know, you can definitely use it all over the lid. It's not too dark, especially for my light skin tone. So I'm gonna buff this out, and then we'll go in with some shimmer. Okay, so that is what Mauve Mystique looks like all over the lid, which I think is really pretty. Now I'm gonna go in with this third shade, which is Cherry Noir, which looks really deep. I'm gonna go in just like I did the last time on the outer half of my eye, and then just blend it out. This is gonna be definitely a darker look, something totally out of my comfort zone, but I'm not gonna go too colorful. I think there's other people, and colorful, I would not, you know, if I do like that turquoise or that blue, the liquid sky looks beautiful, I would just go all over the lid. I wouldn't mix it with other colors. I'm not that, you know, or it'd be very little. I want to kind of show you, especially the neutral colors, I think are the ones that people, at least my viewers, are the ones that people want to see. So that is that third shade, the Cherry Noir, which is a deep burgundy with rose pearl. Really pretty. And then I'm going to go in with that Moonlit Mauve. So I'm going to go in with a different finger, and I'm going to go in on the inner half. So exactly what I did on the this side. So this is more of a mauve look, and then I'm going to go in with that what it's called Pink Venus, and I'm going to go in with that on the inner corner. So this is a really pretty, again, this one has a little bit of fallout. This is the first shade that I've used that has a little bit of fallout. Not too much, but I am using it with the finger. So you can see the first one I used, the Cherry Noir, doesn't have too much of a sparkle. This one has a little bit more, so you can see there. Okay, so there you can see, again, Cherry Noir. Now again, that's not how I would probably wear them, and I actually like this side but much better than this side, but you know, I am just kind of trying them out. So now I'm gonna go in with that Pink Venus, which is really the only one that's lightest. And I'm gonna take it and I'm going to go in with the inner corner and bring it in and just kind of lighten it up a little bit, because the look is a little dark for me and I wanna bring a little light to it. So I really like that Pink Venus shade as well. It's not the typical champagne. It's got really bright. I do wish there was one other lighter shade, but if not, I can always use a highlighter, so not really concerned about that. But that is the Pink Venus shade, which is really nice. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to put a little mascara and come back and give you my final thoughts. Okay, so I put some mascara on, and actually, as I was kind of just playing around with it, this eye look I liked it more once I kind of like got to my mirror and I was like, oh, okay. And again, I did this really quick, so I would do a much better job if I were at my actual vanity. So what do I recommend? First of all, I think this is probably my favorite mega, and it's like mini mega palette that she's done for the holiday season. It's the size, the compact, everything. To me, it's the best. Now there's one that I didn't get that I have kind of always regretted not getting. I can't remember which one it was. It's the one that it was kind of laid out, you know, different. That one I always thought was really pretty, but I never got it. But I really like this one. I really like it. I like the shades. I like the two mattes, and I think they really work well together. So it is $72, but it's just pricey. So it is at Sephora. So if you are interested in getting the Sephora sales coming up, I only get 10% at Sephora because I don't shop there that much. It's not that big of a deal, but Pat McGrath does usually have really great sales if it's going to be around. So if it's going to be around, could be worth waiting for, but you just never know if it's going to still be around. I think it will be. They really haven't sold out in the last couple of years. They've gotten discounted, etc. The blushes I think are great if you like cream blush and you don't have the two shades. Like I wouldn't get it if you had one of these two shades. I wouldn't get this set. So I think they're really pretty. I really want the cool pink one, but that one would be one that I would wait for a sale. That's the only thing, but I do really like them and I don't regret paying, you know, almost full price for this one. If you are interested, they do have the set. I'll post a link to the set. The set with the 10%, the Gilded 10 code, it came out to like $80.10 with both of these products with that 10% off, and which is 77%, just under 23% off. So it's still better than the Sephora sale. And right now these aren't available at Sephora. So I think it's a great palette. Again, use your money wisely, use what you have. So if you have last year's palette, you probably don't need it. The shades, while they're not the same, they're probably similar. You're gonna get similar looks. So use what you have, but if you don't have it, I think it's a beautiful palette. I really like it, and I really like the cream blushes. So with that, if you like this video, click like, click and subscribe. That way you get a notification every time I post a new video. Bye everyone.